This woman secretly lived inside a grocery store sign for an entire year. Not on the roof, not behind the building, inside the actual glowing letters. She had electricity, a coffee maker, a printer, even a houseplant. And no one, not one employee, shopper, or security guard, noticed. But when a group of contractors climbed up for a routine repair, they uncovered one of the most bizarre, brilliant, and quietly defiant survival stories you've never heard. This is the true story of the Rooftop Ninja, the woman who turned a store sign into a secret home and vanished with dignity when it was finally discovered. Midland, Michigan. A quiet town stitched together with modest streets, familiar faces, and the slow rhythm of everyday life. Nothing about it screams remarkable. But above one grocery store, hidden in plain sight, one woman was quietly rewriting the rules of survival. She wasn't homeless. She wasn't lost. She held a job, though not with the store below her. And her decision to live there wasn't driven by desperation or chaos. It was something else entirely. Deliberate, controlled, meticulously planned. One evening, as the town settled into dusk and homes lit up with bedtime rituals, she moved. With silent determination, she climbed the side of the family fare grocery store, over fences, past barriers, and into the glowing sign mounted high above the roof. Not behind it, not beside it, inside it. She slipped through an access panel and disappeared into the hollow shell of the illuminated letters. The sign, built to advertise frozen goods and weekly discounts, was about to become something no one had ever imagined. A home. What began as one night turned into a week, then months, then a full year. Inside the metal husk, she carved out a life. Compact desk, a weathered laptop, a working printer that quietly hummed through the night. Clothing, neatly folded and stacked. Food, carefully rationed. And remarkably, a coffee maker powered by a single orange extension cord that snaked from the rooftop into her space like a lifeline. But perhaps the most powerful detail, a living green houseplant, nurtured, tended to, a soft burst of life in a place never meant for it. She became a phantom. No one heard her, no one saw her. She moved only under the cover of darkness, gracefully, cautiously, almost invisibly. Below her, life went on. Shoppers pushing carts, cashiers calling out totals, children pulling on sleeves. No one looked up. No one suspected. Then came April 23, 2024. A team of contractors arrived for what should have been a routine repair. They expected a loose wire, a faulty ballast, maybe some bird damage, but when they opened the sign, what they found stopped them cold. There, nestled inside the glowing structure, was a full living space. A floor, laid with care. A small arrangement of furniture, books and daily essentials, positioned with intention. The orange extension cord, still plugged in, silently fueling the entire hidden world. They called the police. But what happened next wasn't a confrontation. She emerged on her own, calm, poised, no panic, no shame. She simply nodded, looked around once, and began to pack her things. No resistance, no excuses, just quiet dignity. Her only request? To take everything she had lived with, the objects of her life, the tiny world she had built, and the officers allowed it. They gave her a formal trespass notice. She could not return. They offered her help, housing resources, access to services. She declined. She had made it this far on her own terms. She intended to keep it that way. The officers gave her a name, the Rooftop Ninja. And family fare? They could have pressed charges. They didn't. Instead, they let her walk away peacefully, with everything she carried. Even the parent company, Spartan Nash, responded not with anger, but with reflection. They praised the store staff for their professionalism and empathy, and they acknowledged what this story really was. Not just a bizarre footnote, but a quiet signal of something deeper. And just like that, she was gone. The sign went back to being just a sign. Shoppers returned. The aisles refilled with everyday noise. The town carried on, but for those who stood on that roof, for anyone who saw what she built, they'll never look at that glowing sign the same way again.